Friends, welcome to the lesson on training and human resource development. Here we try to understand what is human resource development and what training is and how the training really plays an important role in human resource development. Human resource development, as you know, is a very important in the context, in the present day context, where a lot of human resources are available in the country and in the organizations. And you may ask me a question now, whether this human resource is an asset or a liability. You know the meaning of asset and liability. Asset is a wealth for the organization and liability is a burden for the organization. So if you say that human resource is an asset, then probably human resource can be act as a very good wealth for the organization and also individuals to flourish. If it is a liability, that means when it becomes a burden, that is the individual as well as the organization will perish. So therefore human resource has really become very important in the Indian context and also in the organizational context. Therefore human resource development is as important as that of the organization. So let us see how the human resource really plays a vital role in the development of the organization and also in the career development of an individual. So the individuals, the human resource, the individuals or the human beings have certain potentialities by nature, and if they are nurtured well, they will become an asset to the organization. Let me cite a small story here. In one of the situations, an eagle egg happens to be mixed with the chicken eggs, eagle egg, chicken eggs, and the chicken has brooded over the eggs, and finally the chicks and the eagle chick, let us say eagle chick, chicks and the eagle chick have emerged out of the eggs, After some days the chicks have started scrambling the ground for its grains and also the worms, and likewise the eagle chick has also started doing what the other chicks were doing. So the eagle chick has forgotten its potentiality, and after some time the wings have developed both for chicks as well as for the eagle chick. Now they are the grown up chicks and grown up eagle chick. Let us say they are chicken and also the eagle chicken, and after developing wings, because of its weight, the chicken have started flying a small distances and coming onto the ground. Likewise the eagle chicken is also doing the same thing, though it has the potential to fly very high and also at a long distances. Unfortunately that did not reveal it to the eagle chicken. So after some time the eagle chicken has seen one of the birds flying in the sky very majestically. Then it has asked a question to its friend, neighbor friend chicken, what is the bird that is flying very majestically? The eagle chicken immediate reply was, that is called an eagle, the king of birds, and you just cannot think of flying like that. You just cannot think of flying like that. See the kind of statement that chicken friend has given. Because of this particular statement or words used by the neighbor chicken friend, the eagle chicken did not think of its potentiality and has simply forgotten about its capability or the potential. So therefore the eagle chicken as well as the chickens have grown old and ultimately died. So the tagline here is, the eagle chicken was born to win but was conditioned to lose. Likewise human beings also have the potential. If they are not nurtured properly, they will simply, the potentials are simply die down. So therefore they will not be used for the organization. That is why human resource is really very important, and every organization or institute should think of developing human resource in a way that it wants, so that it can certainly achieve the goals or the objectives of the organization. And once we think of importance of this human resource, then we will see the HRD mechanisms. Every organization has certain mechanisms like human resource planning, training, performance appraisals, career planning, leadership training, motivation and rewards, counseling, coaching and guidance. These are all the mechanisms that are being used by the different organizations and institutions to develop their human resource. Among these mechanisms, training is very important, and let us see what the training is. The training facilitate the training, mind you, the training facilitate the individuals to acquire knowledge, skills, attitudes to do the job for the organizational growth. So, to develop potential, knowledge and skills, training is very important. Enhances individuals efficiency here, so that training the organizational objectives can be met with, and facilitate to perform assigned tasks very systematically, and facilitate the individual to think and solve the problems by using local resources. That is another very important aspect dimension in the training, and process of attitudinal change also takes place here. And another important thing is people or the trainees unlearn and then learn the new skills and new knowledge here, and it also helps in enhancing the professionalism. These are all the advantages or the merits of the training. And look at this particular illustrious cartoon figure here. If I had 8 hours to chop a particular tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. Here the axe is referred as the trainee and the sharpening is referred as the training. So, if you train the trainee, certainly the objectives of the organization can be very easily met in a very systematic way and in a very fruitful way, and therefore every trainee, every employee should get training, should receive training in a particular field where he or she has interest, or probably based on the training need analysis. And if you look at this training process is a very complex activity. It appears to be very simple, but it is a very complex process. Many people many a times think that it is simply think that they communicate to others and change will occur, but it is not so. It does not happen just like that. It is a very complex process, and training process is underestimated or probably oversimplified, and therefore in real terms or in real sense, designing and preparation of training consumes more time than the delivery of the training. That you must understand. Preparation and designing of the training consume more time than the delivery of the training. That is very important, that you should keep in mind. And therefore, these important aspects of training are curriculum development, course outline, lesson plan. If you do this, we can assure consistency in the training program. And all the benefits, if you look at these benefits of the training program to organizations are many. Leads to improved economic activity, because already the trainee has got knowledge and skills, and therefore he can perform the job very easily. That is why the organization will grow, and it leads to improved economic activity and improved job knowledge and skills. It also improves morale of the employees. That is also another important aspect which we need to think of, and probably that is the benefit of the training program, and helps people identify with organizational goals. This is another area where the training will expose you to the organizational goals, which can be easily met with after the training is over, and facilitates in developing leadership skills. This is another very important dimension that is there, or that is in the training program. Helps to eliminate fear in attempting new tasks, because tasks always gets changed. The organizations are dynamic in nature, tasks gets changed, and whenever new task is there, training is necessary. When training is taken or received, the job can be easily attempted, and we can take up to new tasks and achieving them. If you look at this again, another very simple cartoon which you all know pretty well, which you all know this, and here the crow is simply dropping the stones into the pot to bring the water up. That means the crow here is trained, and it is using its local resources like stones to get the water up, so that it drinks the water. It is just like related to the organizational goals and also the training. And once we see the learners or the trainees, and then learning theories are very important. These theories we term them as theories of andragogy. Andragogy is adult learning. Andragogy is adult learning. Here the training is given to the adults, and adults have different ways of learning. Adults have different ways of learning, and these are different theories, and there are different theories how people learn, and therefore we need to take into consideration. each one has a particular way of learning, each trainee has a particular way of learning. A learner may learn in a different way, the other learner may learn in a different way. That the trainer has to look into this before giving a training program. And adult learners bring in a great deal of experience, that is also very important, because this is an andragogy program, they have a lot of experience. We must take that experience into consideration before designing a program and also delivering a program. Their learning should be need based, their learning should be always need based, theory alone will not help, and therefore practical aspects also to be incorporated into the training, then only it will be fruitful and successful. Then the different theories are there, like sensory evaluation theory. Here all the senses have to, all the senses have to occur at a given point of time, so that learning will be fruitful. The senses, you know, I think probably I do not have to tell about that, but senses are see, touching, smelling. So all these are all hearing, all these are all senses. If all these senses are activated, then the learning will be much more faster and fruitful. If you look at another theory, reinforcement theory, the learner respond to a behavioral change initially. This desired change need to be continued, then it has to be reinforced, and reinforcement could be rewards, success stories, etc. Let me just give an example, like the learner suppose acquires a new knowledge, and if you think that the particular learner has acquired new knowledge or skill, then probably you may ask the learner to spell out before the group of the people, so that he will gain in confidence. That becomes a reinforcement for him to continue that desired change. Then if you look at the holistic learning theory, the individuals has an inbuilt personality dimensions. These dimensions could be intellectual dimension, emotional dimension, intuition, creativity, and analytical dimension. If the learning activities can instigate these dimensions, the learning will be much more fruitful, For this, for example, you can employ all the training methods, like your lecture method, your brainstorming method, your seminar method, your interaction method, your exposure method. If all these methods, different methods are involved, I think you can instigate the dimensions which we have already said, that intellectual and other dimensions, so that the learning will be much more easy and fruitful. Then if you look at the cognitive or the Gestalt approach, individuals' learning depends on their needs and concerns at a given point of time. This makes the subjective interpretations by the learners at a different context on the same need, and therefore we must be very careful in planning the training program when the trainees are called at the right training program at right time, the right time. Then facilitation theory also gives us a kind of a humanistic approach. This is, a trainer acts as a facilitator here, and the trainees will learn based on the kind of freedom and interaction that is given to them. This again a kind of case study can be given to them, given to the trainees, and they can analyze that, and the trainer can facilitate, so that the trainee can analyze and put before the group of the people, so that he will gain in confidence, and this practice also can be implemented in the training situation. Then you have experiential learning theory. This experiential learning, the trainees should reflect on the real experience. Without reflections, people would continue to repeat mistakes. So therefore the learning cycle consists of experience, reflection, and experimentation. For this, for example, if you are a kind of an innovative approach, an innovative program is given to them, like for example in case of agriculture, a drum seeder technology. A drum seeder technology is a new innovation for that particular area, so that the trainee gains an experience by handling the drum seeder. After that, he will try to reflect upon his back home situations and try to experiment on that, so that it will be very easy for him. Then action learning theory. There can be no learning without action and no action without learning. This is also another important theory which we can use in the training program situation. For example, if you have a new innovation like zero tillage cultivation, zero tillage maize cultivation, the learner will act upon that, will lay out in his field this new innovation, and then learn out of that, and then probably this learnings will go in a long way to transfer it to the other people also in his area. Then the adult learners some learning styles are also there. There are only two types of learning styles which are very important, which you need to understand: the direct learning style and the discovery learning style. But in our case, the discovery learning style is really very important for these adult learners, because they have rich experience, they can really brood upon that, and so that the discovery learning is very important, and it will certainly give them enough experience or enough exposure so that this training method can be always used in a very fruitful way. Then lastly we need to look at the training cycle. This training cycle, when we design the training cycle becomes very important. And this training cycle, if you look at this figure, so look at it, you have the training need assessment. First step is training need assessment. A specialist of the training program tries to analyze the needs of the trainers or trainees, and then probably that goes into picture like a training plan or action plan is initiated. Here the training plan consists of the institutional merits, demerits, and also organizational objectives, organizational goals, and resource persons, and other logistics of the training institutions. All these are taken into consideration in the training plan. The third aspect is training designing. So designing already we have dealt in other topic, and therefore the design consists of training need analysis, curriculum development, lesson plans, training methods, and the aids required for the training. All these are taken into consideration in the designing. Then the implementation of the program, and finally the evaluation. So these are the important steps one should remember in the training, so that the training will certainly play a great role in the development of the human resource. And probably you have understood what the training human resource is. It is as important as that of an organization. It can be an asset or it can be a liability for the organization if it is not properly used, and therefore developing human resource really is very important, and this can be developed through the training programs. This training plays a vital role in developing the human resource. Hope you have understood what the human resource is and how it should be developed, and the role of training in the human resource.